Good morning, everybody, and once again, welcome back to lab number 2 on learning Hudi 1.0, which brings database functionality to your object stores. So, the first lab we learned about secondary index in Hudi 1.0. Now, in the lab 2, we are going to be learning about expression index in Apache Hudi 1.0. So, first, I would like to cover some definition, and then we'll do a simple hands-on lab on the expression index. All right, what is an expression index? An expression is a type of index that pre-computes and stores the result of an expression or transformation applied to one or more columns in the table. Instead of recalculating the expression each time the query is run, the database uses the pre-computed result, which speeds up the query processing. This is a particularly useful when queries involve expressions such as an example from Unix timestamp, which takes a timestamp, and then you want to cast that to a year, month, and day, where the database has to perform the conversion on each row timestamp to filter by specific date. By creating an expression index, the system avoids recalculating the transformation every time the query is executed. All right, so now to learn the concepts, as I say, right, try out, right? So Docker, we'll do this lab 2. So Docker compose up -- build -t. So you can see all the containers are up and running. And if I go to localhost 9000, if you refresh, you will see your object store. Default is admin and password, as you can see, and you will see a bucket called warehouse, which you can use for learning and playing purposes, right? Now, in the same project, I have given you a Spark SQL command. This is lab number 2, by the way. This will start your Spark SQL on your terminal, as you can see. Now we can start firing commands. So the first one I'll do is I'm creating a very simple table called Hudi index table, a bunch of columns inside that. We have to use the word using Hudi, and then I will provide all the options in the options section. And I'm partitioning this table by Siri, okay? So go here, click, and the table has been created, and let's insert some mock data into that using this command. And while that's happening, I go to my object store, I refresh, I see a table over here, I see my Hive style partition, I see the .hudi folder, and I see the metadata. Lovely, right? Okay, let's go back here, okay? Now, let me show you this. So what we are doing here is we are selecting bunch of columns, right? We are selecting bunch of columns from this particular table, and then we are using from Unix time. We are providing the timestamp, and we are casting that into year, month, day format, and then we are saying, hey, give me records that match this particular date, right? Now this particular date is not there in the date. It's not there in our sample Hudi data, right? So you will expect no items returned, right? But you will also see the number of file scans are like 3 at this point, right? So if I were to run this SQL query, right? And if I were to go to localhost, I believe Spark UI is on 4040. Go here, click here. Number of files reads are 3, okay? Now see how you can leverage expression index on Apache Hudi. Look, okay? So you use the word create index. Again, it is very similar to how you would create index on Postgres, right? It is almost like a database at this point. So create an index, I will use the word IDX, which stands for the word index. And I'm just giving it a name column_ts because I'm creating on timestamp column. And I'm creating the index on this particular table, Hudi index table. This is the name of the table. Using column stats, I'm providing timestamp to it. And then here in the expression, as you can see, I'm using from Unix time, right? So I'm providing that expression, right? So what happens is, as we read in the definition, right? Once you build the index, it doesn't have to recompute every time, right? So now if I do that, okay, so the index has been created, and you can verify that by going to the Hudi. I believe metadata folder. Here you can see that particular index has been created, right? Cool, right? Now if you try to run the same query again, right? Where's my Spark SQL, right? And if I go to localhost 4040 Spark SQL number of file reads is now 0, right? As you can see over here, right? So you see, right, how you can leverage expression index and how you can build multimodal index on Apache Hudi, right? So you can of course build a record level index, you can build secondary index, you can use the column stat index, you can use expression index as you want, right? And Bloom index as well. I'll cover that in the next part, but hopefully it gives you an idea, right? Now I have a sample SQL, the Docker Compose, on my GitHub repository, so I encourage you to go ahead and try it out. So that's about it. I hope you have enjoyed, and if you have any other questions, make sure you comment on the particular video, and if not, you can always join the Hudi Slack channel where you can meet like-minded Hudi community members, right? And you can learn more from them. With that being said, keep smiling, keep programming, and I'll see you in the next video.